Thank you, Senator. Senator Niall Donnghaile.
Carly, and just in the spirit of Senator Black's remarks, this afternoon we gathered in the Mansion House to bid farewell to Ambassador Ahmed Abdel Razik, the Palestinian ambassador to Ireland. He's retiring leader after 6 years in service here in Ireland and 46 years in service to Palestine's diplomatic efforts around the world. And I suppose in this most important weeks for the Palestinian people, and given the further devastation and injustice inflicted upon them, not just by the remarks of the US administration, but also further violence inflicted by Israel on them, it's crucially important that we do pass the Occupied Territories Bill through the entirety of the Oireachtas, and that in particular through the EU, Ireland uses its place to stand up for justice and international law. Leader, 30 years, for 30 years, the Finucane family have campaigned for truth and for justice in relation to the murder of their husband and father, Pat. They have gained international renown for their dignity and grace in the face of obstacle and barrier being put in their way consistently. They have the support, I think, right across the political spectrum in these houses, and indeed the support of government in securing an inquiry into the murder of human rights lawyer Pat Finucane. His son John is our first citizen in Belfast. He has been a fantastic example of the Good Friday Agreement generation. Despite being a victim of the conflict himself, he has shone as a beacon for a new Belfast, a new society, a peaceful, cohesive and respectful one. And I don't expect colleagues in the House to involve themselves in party political cheerleading for John or indeed for our party. But I think it would be remiss of us not to stand very firmly against the toxic, sectarian, vile campaign being led against John, not even just in the constituency of North Belfast where he's seeking election, but right across areas throughout the 6 counties. For those of us who value the democratic process, for those of us who value the electoral process and actually think it's a good thing that people put their names forward for election and to represent people, I think it's incumbent upon us to ensure that a clear message goes from these houses and indeed from the Irish Government that we continue to stand in solidarity with John and his family, and we will stand with them and face down anyone, no matter from where it emanates and against whom, those who would seek to attack and re-traumatise not just the Finucane family as victims, but indeed broader victims right across our society in the north. So I think it's incumbent, as I say, upon us to ensure that a clear message goes in solidarity and in support for John, for his family, but by extension for the democratic and electoral process.
Thank you, Senator. Senator Martin Conway.